In the white ward with a pungent smell, Ji Feng was lying in a hospital bed and still in a coma. In fact, at this time in his mind, it is constantly sounding. Biocurrent stimulation starts, looking for a fusion opportunity. The mental fluctuations are normal and the nerve endings are connected. The host brain has a central nervous system fusion. Intelligent brain 1 and the host begin to merge. The integration is complete, the database starts to start. Hey. The host body enhancement program starts to start. I don't know how long it took. Ji Feng slowly woke up from the coma, and it was a face full of tears. Mom! Ji Feng screamed subconsciously. Even if he reacted, he suddenly sat up and looked at the surrounding environment with surprise. Mom, this is a hospital? How can I be here? Sitting next to the bed is the mother of Ji Feng, Xiao Sumei. Fenger, you finally woke up. Seeing Ji Feng doing it, Xiao Sumei suddenly surprised, and quickly wiped away the tears on his face, pulling up his son's hand and asked, Fenger, do you feel better? Ji Feng nodded subconsciously and asked in confusion, Mom, what happened to you, what happened? Xiao Sumei smeared tears and said, You, the child, just skipped classes on the first day of school, and because the heat stroke fainted in the street. If there were good people who sent you, Mom would lose your son. Escape class? Heat stroke. Ji Feng's face was pale, and he remembered that he would skip school and skip school. He just didn't want to stay in that place. He was afraid to hear the words, illegitimate son, from Hu Suiwai's mouth, and the pain of breaking up, which was lost in the school. Seeing his son's face pale, Xiao Sumei suddenly said with concern, Fenger, how is your face so ugly, is it uncomfortable? Mom, I am fine. Ji Feng quickly pulled the mother who was going to call the doctor. When she saw the mother's anxious look, he couldn't help but feel sour. He said, Mom, it's all bad for me, I worry you. I am going to you promise that you will never skip class in the future, you will study hard and will not let you worry. Good. Good. Xiao Sumei saw her son so sensible, and couldn't help but burst into tears. Mom knows that Maple is the most sensible. Do you know anything? In the heart of Ji Feng's ironic smile, if he is sensible, he will not forget the mother who has a hard time, and will not forget that his mother is selling his own vegetables for himself to study, and he is obsessed with Hu Suiwai. I am a who is not as good as a beast. Ji Feng hates his former self. Ji Feng's mother, Xiao Sumei's hometown, was in the countryside. Because she was unmarried, Xiao Sumei was driven out of her home by her parents and left homeless. It is considered to be a bad woman with a bad temper, a sneer, an irony of relatives and friends, and a cold and indifferent state of the world, so that Xiao Sumei can't stay in the countryside, and can only fall into the county with her pregnancy. Fortunately, under the help of good-hearted people, Xiao Sumei rented a cheap house and gave birth to Ji Feng. When Ji Feng was young, Xiao Sumei could only carry Ji Feng, help others to see children during the day, and take the seasoned maple. In the evening, go to the nearby garbage dumps and scouring some waste products that can sell money. Wait until the age of Ji Feng is a little older, Xiao Sumei is a little easier, relying on the help of neighbors, bought a pedal tricycle, made a small food dealer, although not much money, but removed the tuition of Ji Feng. The lives of their mother and son are also barely able to pass. Ji Feng was an early sensible. After school, he came to the vegetable market in the county to help his mother sell vegetables. It also helped Xiao Sumei a lot. However, since he began to associate with Hu Suiwai, Ji Feng has been excuses for learning tasks every time. The number of times he went to the vegetable market to help his mother in the spare time is getting less and less. Most of the time, he is with Hu Suiwai. Now think of it, Ji Feng couldn't help but feel a bit of pain. How did he blink his eyes, and the mother who had a hard time did not hurt, but fell in love with the snobbish Hu Suiwai. Mom, I am sorry. Ji Feng said seriously. From now on, I will not let you suffer anymore. I must let you live a good life. Let those who have laughed at you and looked down on you come. Beiji you, welcome you, I want to make you proud of my son. At this time, Ji Feng, after seeing the tears of his mother, finally realized, this is the first solemn promise made after his new life, in order to have a hard-working mother. Okay, good. Xiao Sumei suddenly took his son in his arms and shed tears. The pain and hardships of these 10 years have finally paid off in this moment, and Xiao Sumei feels satisfied. Even if life is bitter, but there is such a filial son, she also feels worth it. Nestled in the mother's arms, Ji Feng firmly said to himself, Ji Feng, starting today, forget who Sui Wai, be a brand new you, because you still have a mother who needs filial piety. The mother and the child are embracing each other, and the ward is filled with warmth and affection. But at this time, the door of the ward was slammed open. The mother and son suddenly turned their heads and saw that an obese nurse came in with disdain and said indifferently, Xiao Somei, your 3-day hospitalization period will expire in 20 minutes, if you still want to live, if you want to pay, otherwise you will pack up and leave. Xiao Somei quickly stood up and said, this nurse, my son just woke up, his body is still weak, can he slow down, we will leave for at most an hour, can you see it? Hey. The obese nurse said disdainfully, slowly relieved. We are a regular hospital here, not a small clinic in the country. You can pay for it slowly. Don't live, don't live, don't want to live. Paragraph. Xiao Somei was said to be flushed, angry, but could not say anything. Thinking of her son's body is still very weak, she can only bite the silver teeth, said, I pay the money. Mom. Ji Feng's face was gloomy and shouted Xiao Somei. He looked at the nurse coldly and suddenly came down from the hospital bed. He asked coldly, our ward still has 20 minutes to expire, is it?